They've cut you off.
Cut you off. Go ahead.
Poor Will. He's properly sick.
Yeah.
But he's still trooping it.
That one coming.
Everything for the doubts.
All right, we're all good.
We're all good. So if you look at the lineup, I mean, in terms of team fight, it's both are kind of lacking. What type of game is this going to be?
For Secret, they want to just keep as much pressure off of the Lone Druid as possible and just run things around. And for Empire, you just want to get in their face and fight at all times. You want to take advantage of the fact that Bounty Hunter and Lone Druid are slower heroes because they don't add a lot of team fight early on. Like Lone Druid has a prerequisite amount of farm before he's going to get involved. Same thing with like Bounty Hunter doesn't provide any team fight, right? So if you're Secret and you're in this position, like you need some kind of hero that will take advantage of having like a dual offlane, which is why I thought they would take Bat in the first place. Because why else would you ban Oracle?
Yeah.
But in response, look at what Empire does with their last ban. They think the same thing. They're like, why else would you ban
Oracle?
Yeah, exactly. If you don't want Bat Rider, it's like a open representation.
So you're saying mid Kunkka is probable here for Secret? Or possible?
It's been mid one that plays it. I have to imagine that, unless there's some crazy Witch Doctor mid meta that I've never thought of in my life. It's who knows in Dota nowadays, but
or like
I think
offlane Kunkka plus something. I mean, I don't
Sure.
like it. I'm just saying it's like you could do that. X them back into Maledict.
Really listening. You heard something about an OD, perhaps?
On the side of Empire?
No.
I think they need a little bit more team fight.
I mean, Kunkka's like stupidly low cooldown, and track will mean that they can catch, but it's not like you catch.
Do you need something else to pair up with that X, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe like Tide or something. I'm not sure. Bat Rider would have been nice, but
I think if they really wanted the Bat, they would probably picked it for us.
they just need some kind of stun.
Kind of Fata here.
A replay. What are we watching?
Turn to Team Empire.
You're watching that. I'm watching the draft.
Oh.
It is an OD ban indeed. They were thinking about the bans there, and it is an Abaddon.
I see. So they thought that Empire was going to take it then. That's why they
banned OD.
They ban it and then they take a ban.
I personally think this is a crazy lineup from Secret. Like, I'm sure it works. I'm just saying, I don't quite understand how.
Yeah, it's a little greedy, but that's been kind of like the theme of this team. It's just like skirt that edge a little bit. That's what gave them the advantage against a lot of these teams. So, like some teams would commit over too much team fight and then Secret just outlate games you. But it'll depend largely on like how Ace does in this game.
There's Death Prophet making
Amazing
all the
that
way.
she's made it that far, but she's been like first pick or second pick for a lot of these games so far. But yeah, she is.
So what is important for this game for Empire? Because we agree that Empire is going to be the one to maybe need to be putting in a little bit of extra effort to be able to come out with a win here. What is important for their draft to be successful?
Run Secret down.
Yeah.
As much as they can.
Yeah.
Just stop Lone Druid becoming the guy who you can't kill and who eats all your.
Don't get faked out by the Abaddon, because he's going to be annoying. Like, Fada's going to run at you and die a bunch, and you're going to get fooled into thinking, like, that's worth it. But you need to put as much pressure on this LD as possible.
Alright, pressure and aggression coming out from Team Empire. That sounds like a fun game. And for a fun game, we've got Fun Casters, OD Pixel and Fog.
10 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, third series of the day. It is Team Secret versus Team Empire. I'm OD Pixel. I'm here with Fog. We've just seen the two lineups. We are getting sort of the treat of a mid-one Kunkka. We've seen it before here at a DreamLeague LAN finals, and it was very successful last time around when we saw it.
He's got a full set too.
He does. He's got the hat on. He's got this.
I've never seen that weapon before,
nice
right? Look at that weapon.
Oh, look at his
sick.
weapon.
Pretty exciting.
Very nice.
But yeah, very unorthodox kind of lineup coming up from Secret in comparison. You look at Empires, very stable stuff that we're used to seeing.
Profit. Teams are getting this Death Prophet as a 5th pick. I mean, that's got to be pretty good. A pretty good feeling if you're one of the teams getting a 5th pick Death Prophet through the draft like Empire has.
And he's versus a Lone Druid, right? So Spirit side of the game versus that Bear. So that can be be pretty cool. So we're going to see what they can actually do with it. So for me, I'm looking at, of course, the mid one Kunkka. We'll get there right away. I actually think, I really like the concept of the Kunkka versus Gyrocopter overall, because if you can actually, in theory, right, if you can get your Rum off as the Gyro uses flak, you can be negating a lot of that burst potential, a lot of that AoE team fight. That is where the Gyro thrives. So
we just
be really cool.
I mean, but recently we saw, obviously, at GSC, Lil at the Kunkka was absolutely on point with just the ghost ship usage. I think that's what you got to look for. Not just in the offensive capacity, but as you said, absolutely, especially in the early fights, as the defensive play. Because the thing is, using aggressive, sure, if you've got the setup, you're guaranteed to sort of hit one. Sure, if you get them off guard, you're going to catch 3 or more. But the fact that it's so easy to just get your own team covered in these 5v5s, as you say, against the lineup from Empire that's going to want to look to skirmish around the mid game, it can absolutely be fight-changing.
Yeah. Secret, though, greedy lineup. Absolutely greedy. Because they have they've got Lone Druid. Their catch is pretty minimal. They're really relying mostly on just this Kunkka getting out of control, and then just them kind of just overrunning, being able to just 5-man versus Empires. But Empire's lineup is incredibly strong at all stages. They have an immense amount of damage, lots of control, pretty much everything you'd kind of want in a draft. So we'll see if Secret can actually make this draft work.
Let's have a look. Any sort of lanes that you expect we're going to see teams try and dodge? I mean, at the moment, what Ace is going up top, and he is on his own in this matchup against the Omni Knight, and we'll see. I mean, I guess you can leave in there, right, if you're Secret. You don't really need to babysit this Lone Druid in this 1v1 early on. Yeah,
they're just going to be moving around a lot. I think they just have to make sure that Fada doesn't get... Because I think the lanes are pretty standard. You look at Secret, they're going to have Lone Druid top. Supports are going to be moving around a bunch. Maybe Witch Doctor starts top, gets some pulls off, but they want to be able to help Fada with this Bounty Hunter. Same thing in that mid lane. Puppy's all about this information on this Bounty this game. Because versus Bane, you don't really want to be playing near the Bane as the Bounty Hunter. You want to be forcing reactions and movements from the Earth Spirit. Keeping tabs on where that is.
I see Ghost Stick is hanging around here. We'll see if he can maybe have a bit of a look in onto the rune, but it's going to be hard with Ace having the backup of Yapsor for this Bounty rune control. In fact, Secret have managed to invade Empire's half of the jungle here, so they will be able to claim themselves 3.
And Puppy's actually going to just take the wave so that his Abaddon can actually get something bottom. I do like this play. We saw Peppy do the exact pretty much.
I was going to say, yeah, this seems to be a thing that we're seeing people do, rather than, as you say, the off-laner sort of throwing his life down here to get the full pull around. Have their supports make this sort of selfless move and just not sacrifice sort of the health of their off-lane core.
The Fada, like Will was saying, Fada's just going to try to be like that nuisance bottom lane. Should be able to get something down here because of that pull. But Empire, they're going to try to meet it and do their best to deal with it. Puppy looking for some courier snipes. Not going to happen just yet. And mid, FN should have a very good time versus this Kunkka in the mid lane. But we're not used to seeing too much of that Kunkka core, so we're going to see what he can do.
No, and as I said, we've seen mid one in the past. He knows what he's doing on this hero. Yeah, it definitely seems to be a bit of a special trick that he likes to whip out now and then.
Yep. Pressure coming out onto FN. Torrent connects. Puppy's there as well, trading some hits.
Mid lane, now going to go in.
A lot of damage.
He's popped the Fairy Fire, Siphon as well, helping keeping him alive, and he'll be fine.
Now Yoku.
He's now the one in trouble. And in fact, a couple more right clicks, that'll be it. First blood for mid one, as he gets the backup of Puppy. FN's still playing around. Has to be a little careful, as he's low on health. He's got the salve out though, so he'll top himself right up.
Tidebringer a bit, so he had creep advantage there, so as soon as the Earth Spirit rolls in, lots of creeps hitting him. And top lane, Yapsor will be starting up there, just making sure Ghost Stick doesn't have a fun time.
Just getting right clicks out of the lane there once the Maledict's on him.
We'll see if Puppy can get this courier snipe. They are just sitting the courier actually at base for now. They've got the salve. They can't let that happen.
Absolutely, you just can't. When there's a bounty in the game, but we say that, but we see so many times pro teams sort of forgetting about bounty. So his bottom lane Fada will be going on. He's got the Aphotic Shield, but that is not going to be enough to keep him alive. But Poshka and Nyx fight through it and get Empire a kill onto the board.
Power of the gyro. As soon as you hit 2, most offlaners are at threat of dying.
Even someone like an Abaddon, who's normally pretty resilient against that sort of damage.
Look at mid one going that mid lane. 13 and 5 to the 6 and 2 Death Prophet already. Having an excellent time. They gave him extra regen. He's brought a couple extras too, and almost with those phase boots.
I think it's just one of those heroes that, if you know what you're doing in the mid lane, because of just fundamentally how the hero works with those early skill points. It's hard. Even if you're a strong laner like a Death Prophet, mid one can play around that on the Kunkka. With Puppy having a look in on mid.
If you're very good at toggling that Tidebringer, you can get so many denies, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
Yeah. He's keeping it on, keeping the lane very hard for FN to play it. FN does have, of course, Yoku behind him. But he's going to need some help because they've made the opening. They get FN dragged back, and in fact, that Torrent will seal the deal. And FN will fall. Not a lot that Yoku can do as he rolls in, as there is no helping that Death Prophet. FN really starting to fall behind in this mid matchup now.
Yeah, Puppey with the perfect positioning there both times around, helping out mid to get those kills. Bottom.
Does have the shield. See how much of a chance to go. In fact, Fat is going to turn towards Nyx. The Poshka has to pop the Nightmare down onto the Abaddon, make sure that that gyro does not get run down.
Yeah, YapzOr already feels like he's done his job top. They know they've shut down the Omni Knight quite heavily, and Ace is going to be going for that Dominator build on that Lone Druid, as we've been seeing more and more.
And we're going to see this, be sort of responded to by Empire. They're sending Yoku down here as well. So there will be the two supports ready to fight against Butter and YapzOr. But at the same time, Secret, they mirror the movements themselves. Puppey's going to come down here, so we've now got a full 3v3 down in this bottom lane. You'll see who's going to kick it off first. The pings are out. Puppey just making sure. I know where Maposhka is. They're leading in. Puppey's getting some good vision here on the two of them. I'll try and lead in onto the Bane. Poshka comes back in. The bottle smash onto YapzOr will allow Yoku to grab the rune. The life of Maposhka in trouble. He's near the neutrals, but they won't be able to finish him off. The Secret do get the kill.
Very nice rotation coming out from them. Just, as soon as Lone Druid's got a free lane, that's what we were talking about, is these supports have the freedom to move around.
I mean, and he has more than a free lane. 24-14 against the 10-for-2 of Ghosting. Ace is... I don't think he's missing a single one.
I don't think so. Not just yet.
Early days, but Secret starting to get an early farm advantage with these lanes. So far, Empire, to really be able to shake them up. They're going to try down bottom, going in on Safada, but Fada and YapzOr, they turn. It looks towards Yoku, who's got the Maledict on him. The right click's bringing him low, will be fine. Nyx trying to return fire as he looks towards Fada.
Look at them
shield is up.
Around. No fear coming out from Secret.
Yoku just barely surviving that as he retreats back to base. So far, it seems like in these first 5 minutes, Yoku's really struggling to find a lane where he can have an impact.
We haven't seen the decline a bit of that Earth Spirit because of that lane pressure. You can't actually do what you used to do, because the main thing as that Earth Spirit now, which we've been seeing, is you try to help that mid laner, but a lot of times you roll into tower.
Yeah, and that's your mid laner. The mid laner, of course, being a Kunkka. Yeah, strength hero, pretty tanky, and you roll in. There's always the chance of a torrent turnaround with the slow time for people to TP in. But at bottom lane, as we've seen, that's a hard lane with the core Abaddon, and top there's a lone druid. Sure, he's on his own, but good luck trying to get to the hero himself with the way that Ace is playing. Yeah. Very hard heroes for Empire supports to gank.
Mid one has had a 2-level advantage over the Death Prophet at one point. Look at this. FN just keeps getting hit by Tidebringer, forced to bring it salves constantly.
I see either the second or the third. Gonna look towards him. They do have Yoku here. Mid one's level 6. It's just not a kill you're getting. Even if that slow hits, I doubt that it's gonna happen, especially with the boat.
He can just turn, he can just turn in boat, and then the rotations can come out from the rest of the Secret supports. Very scary for Empire in this middle lane. However, now, mid one, he gets the boat up defensively.
I mean, that's the thing. As soon as the boat's up, you know, it's pretty much a kill you just can't take. He's up to the high ground, he's out of there. Puppey's actually coming in, he's having a look. We'll see the TP come through, so doesn't want to reveal himself.
Puppey, though, walked under vision of his
They did, and they have the dust to follow up. Yoku looking towards him. Puppey considering finishing himself to the Ancients here, I would imagine, as there are 3 heroes surrounding him. They punch through. Puppey
is wearing off.
It is. Is it going to be enough to save him? Oh, they've got backup sentries, and Grip Swarm will clip.
Costly, though. That's a lot of gold and rotations committed. They spent dust and a sentry to get that. He's only worth 164
And I'm looking at this big old bear with 7 minutes in. He's already brought the tier 1 down to half health.
Yeah, he got the Dominator before the 5-minute mark, so he's able to steal that wagon.
I mean, this top lane is a massive disaster for Empire. All 3 cores of Secret are very early on getting ahead. Empire have got to find some way to at least even out one of the lanes. They're looking towards Fada, but Fada's level 6 now.
He's doing great bottom. Having this Arcane Rune now, he's able to spam the shields. 225 last hits. This was the lane that Secret was kind of like, okay, we're going to sack him a little bit, but Fada doing excellent with those movements coming up from the 2 supports. It's always the beauty about having the bear, like we were mentioning. Top looks at deciding to make his first rotation. They want to secure this tower, maybe get some kills out of it. Stick. not have repel available.
Look at
they actually get the courier too with the Tidebringer. That had somebody's boots on it and a couple TPs and clarities. That's a costly death. And now Ghostic.
Now looking towards it.
Close the gap.
Here's got the purification. Bo coming in on top of the X mark. Ghostic without opponent repel. No way to play his way out of that.
It's a 6K advantage at 8 minutes, Owen. Wow.
We are seeing after some one-sided games today.
Yeah, I think that was FN's boots as well, as well as some clarity. So he's now running around with just double null on this poor Death Prophet. Very easy for them to catch him.
Here we go. They're going to try for Ace. Boulder smash being in. Ace immediately goes for the TP out. They haven't got any way to cancel it. He's gone, and the Bear's going to probably survive as well.
Yep. He calls it away.
Even Carty gets out alive.
Oh my.
Bottom lane, but he's just getting the chance to hit the tower.
We were talking about how Secret looks like they have a greedy draft on paper, but they're making it work exceptionally with all these movements.
Secret.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not holding back at all this game. This is them coming up to the LAN, as we've said. You know that the last previous LANs, they've normally make it out of the groups, get to the playoffs, and then sort of begin to falter. Already here, you can sort of taste how hungry they are to just get these wins in the bag and not mess around.
They've got the boat follow-up.
Go for the Nightmare. Oh, that's not going to save him. Mid one now on a killing spree. The armlet is pretty much there. In fact, with his tower, he should have it. This 10-minute armlet phase. That is a scary Kunkka, and dare I say, with the armlet at this sort of timing, this is absolutely a game where mid one may just not die.
He saw that glyph. The shield pops. He really wanted to get the last hit with the Tidebringer, but they do glyph and save the creeps for now, but they lose this tower, and mid's also getting pressured as well. Ace is looking to go for that range lone druid build.
Let's see if Empire can find a killing response. They look towards the Absol, but look, the Nightmare taken off by Ace's Bear, buying Absol sometime the Boulder smash.
It's off the mark.
Yoku. He was shooting and trying to score. I don't know where he was trying to score.
He got it onto the high ground at least, near the Ancient. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
A big miss.
Must have used the wrong foot.
Very costly rotation, too. They really need to be getting these kills, too. Especially if they're going to be bringing the Gyrocopter in the rotations. Because level 6 on Nyx, and he's their strongest hero at this point because of how dreadful the mid matchup actually went for FN.
Nyx, down bottom. He will put the cooldown. The combo comes in, and you know, as we sort of said, once that rum is out upon you,
the rum
not dying.
The torrent was off the mark, though. Will actually survive.
Stroke of luck there for Nyx. A misplay from mid one. Puppy. Plus, just trying to find that level 6. So, I mean, this is the scary thing. Secret at a 7K lead, and this is before Track's online.
Yeah.
Once Track's online.
I mean, they're starting to claim so many buildings as well. All the tier 1s are taking. Tier 2 bottom is dead as well now. How can Empire just can't respond? They've just been completely destroyed in this laning phase. 9K advantage.
That's a rough one. They've got to look for something, but they've got to get something done in terms of a big team fight with Exorcism and cooldown. But
yeah, they need everything to come into play.
It just feels like you have to disable mid one, or just make sure mid one's not in the fight. If he gets the ult off, you're not kidding anyone that's covered in the rub.
Double Dominators built up. Fada as well as Ace.
Puppy, one more creep wave, and he will have that 6.
Empire is grouping up now. They're going to go for this tier 1 siege, but at the same time, look at Secret. They're just responding, taking another tier 2 soon. But they decide to move. Nyx is coming in. He needs to be able to... I mean, they have to get kills with these rotations of the gyro. He's level 7 on this safe lane. Everybody on this... All the cores on the side of Secret are just doing way better than him right now. And the X comes out.
Yeah, they managed to look towards the bait. He is on the high ground, number Poshka. Will be able to keep himself fine. That comes out from Nyx. They start to attempt to push back Secret. Fortification pops as well. The torrent out onto Ghostic, trying to run forward, force back. It's Omni Knight and create the space to take another tower. 12 minutes in, and Secret have managed to claim 2 tier 2 towers from Empire.
It's devastating. Now Nyx, there's not really safe places to be on the map for the side of Empire. They've lost so much map control. This gyro now getting ran down.
And this is the track online. That is where we're going to start to see the big bucks really rolling. I mean, not necessarily in terms of kills, because of obviously how far behind Empire's cores are. That gyro kill only granting mid one 200 gold.
And look at this. The catapult's just scouting out FN too. They're just walking around, keeping it on top of him. They can't kill that catapult. He's like, okay, Omni's here, Death Prophet's here. Look at this.
Maybe if he's quiet, you know. Ghosty won't know he's there.
How can Empire take fights now at this deficit? It's actually so hard versus this Kunkka boat. And now, Secret just waltzes into the pit. They're just keeping tabs on Empire's heroes as well.
Yep.
Like FN, if he walks into this Secret lineup, he's so squishy. Miposhka now gets X'd up again. The torrent this time, mid one does get it.
Yeah, Miposhka's trying to outplay her with the nightmare attempts, but you know, as you say, mid one reads it and just torrents where he's out rather than torrenting at the X-Mark spot. And with this Roche falling pretty safely with the bear tanking it, I don't know, Empire can have any sort of a look in on this. With that Roshan going down, the gold will be there for mid one to have a 14-minute Shadow Blade on top of his armlet. He still wishes to finish off that purchase. And anytime a team gets a Shadow Blade against a team that's already massively behind, it just becomes so much worse. You're a team that's behind in net worth, but you're now having to invest more and more into protection.
And your heroes are so weak at the moment. Everyone is like, the two big cores, the Death Prophet as well as the Gyrocopter, you're seeing at 1k HP. You look at Secret's lineup now at this point, this Kunkka is dealing a ridiculous amount of damage.
Ooh, I mean, it's Ace. He's 8.5k net worth. He's just got his Maelstrom done.
I mean, they won all 3 lanes. They really did. Pretty heavily.
With the Maelstrom on Ace, you've got the attack range as well now. So he's ready to right-click him.
Look how mid one is. Mid one's going to be hitting for like 300 damage with this cleave when he's got the armlet turned on. And they're consistently just they're just throwing these dominated creeps and just running them through the jungle and constantly seeing where Empire's moving. Just there, they had one of the small satyrs running through. Empire just starts trying to kill it, but then they redominate a new creep, so they don't even get any gold from it. It's fucking scary.
That's something that I'm so surprised we don't see sort of more. As you say, just the use of the creeps to just act as sort of vision. You know, there's a patrol command nowadays in Dota, so you just get them moving around a jungle in a route.
Puppy.
And it gives you some very important information.
He's fine. He gets booted down on the low ground, but he doesn't mind. He has teammates there.
Ghostic and Nyx trying to force some sort of a reaction as they do come across onto this tier 2 top, but Secret, they're already outside the base of Empire.
And they've got Aegis. They can definitely go for this high ground siege. They've got the Maelstrom finished on Ace too. And Empire stop this. They've got all the ult available.
Come out. They cannot afford to lose a Rax at 16 minutes in. Look at that. Outside Tormentor's in. Did have the Aphotic Shield upon him. Look for the Nightmare onto the Abandon. They want to try and finish up at least the Bear. It's getting pretty low, and they will kill it. Get the 300 gold bounty, but it cost them the life of Ghosting. The boat's coming through. Yoku will get caught out. Mid1 and Puppy right-click him down. He should tick down here to the urn, and he does indeed. Miposhka gets the Fiend's Grip off, but overall Empire, they've lost 2. Miposhka, he'll be chased down by Puppy. They've got the X mark back from Mid1, dragging him in. Cast down Maledict out to FN with the Death Ward as well. Empire, they've lost 3. They'll lose FN as well. Double kill for Yapstor. The track kills rolling in as well with that. There's a 14k lead. Add the Rax on top of that.
And they're just healing everybody up. They've got the Spirit Vessel. They've got tons of sustain. Even this X back to base comes back, heals up a bit of bone. They're not stopping. They didn't lose anybody, and everything was expended by Empire.
Now we're reaching it. We're at the 1k lead a minute that we rarely ever see get turned around. I don't think there's any question whether this game's got a chance of being turned around with Secret playing as they are and at the speed that they have. This game on. Nyx will come forward. He's got the repel. He's getting right-click back in by Ace. The call down now, but where's the follow-up? Yoku's going to try and lead in onto this. Looks to get the stun out, but he himself getting stunned immediately. FN in the midst of it all.
Tidebringer.
And Yoku's gone. You're going to have to see Ghostic walk himself back to base. Miposhka gets first hit rooted by the Bear. The Bane's dead as well. The X-Mark combo onto the Gyro. It's got to be over.
It's absolutely over.
As I said, I thought we'd see some one-sided games today. It looks like we had this was just on another level. And with that, GG is cool. Secret.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, when's the game start, lads?
I mean, everything honestly just went perfect for them there. They get the kills in the mid. Yeah. They get the courier when they make the rotation. Mid one's rotation is successful. They take the tower.